we've been doing learning about the 5 areas of Qi Transference using Yang Lu Chan's form. That's quite interesting stuff. We learned yesterday about Sung. Sung means not to relax, but to not feel the movements as you do them. It's all a part of internal Gong Fu. So we use wave hands like clouds. That's the first area that you'll feel Sung in, because it's such a perfectly rounded movement. And see if I get to here. I felt the wrist move. That's incorrect. So Sung simply means doing the movements without feeling the movements happening. In other words, you have to be so soft and sensitive that you don't actually feel the movements happening. And a nice little anecdote that was told to me by an old Chinese person was the fact that it was the first realization that I had of Sung, first anecdote that really made any sense. He said, it's like having a cake in the oven and it comes up like that. And you put it on there and you turn away and flop, it goes down. And you haven't seen it go down. So that's a good anecdote as to what Sung is. And we actually use wave hands like clouds in a static position. We don't even have to move. But of course, eventually, all of the moves in your Taiji form become Sung. Even single whip. I do single whip like that now, because to bring my fingers together, you see, I can feel the wrists moving. When I'm just doing Taiji for myself, just for the physical benefits of Taiji, just for some exercise, sure, I'll just do it fast, and I'll just do that, just because I'm using muscles. But when I'm doing Taiji for all the right reasons, for grounding, for health, etc., and especially for the spiritual part, I'll just bring it like that. And when you Yes. Peter just asked, should be this, when we do the form, the arms should be heavy. I like to imagine it like a tree, and your arms are like the branches hanging off a tree. You know, they're very powerful, and they can sway under the breeze and everything, but they're just hanging there. There's no tension in the branch. It's just hanging there. Of course, the epitome of that is the analogy of the bamboo and the snow. And it just bends, the snow falls off, and it springs back up again. You see? So yes, it doesn't matter whether it's a yin movement or a yang movement, your arms must be the same amount of heavy all the way through. It's just that your mind changes them from yin to yang, that's all. Because yin and yang are relative to each other. You can't just say something's yin without saying what it's yin to. You just pick the leg up, place it, and then roll forward, of course. That's just using the leg muscles. But in Sung, or rather than the next area of Taiji, of learning about transferring the energy, is moving from the center, of course. So every movement must be caused from the center, rather than doing this. The only movement you have with your arms are up or down. That's it. And the epitome of this, say for instance, I'm doing a move from the old Yang style like this. Now I can do it 2 different ways. I can do it this way, which is incorrect. That's just my arms doing the movement. Or I can simply do this. Now that's all I'm going to do with my hands, just that. But watch what happens when I make the body make the movement happen, you see. You see, now it looked as if I was going by that, but I wasn't. All I did was this. See? Look. I'll do it slowly, incorrectly, but see the hand. But I make my body. In other words, you're going into what's called, I'd like to call generally sloppy Tai Chi. So it's easier getting the movement coming from the center. See, that's the only. There are times, of course, when we have to do Tai Chi controlled, and that's mainly for grounding. That's when we do Tai Chi very, very slowly. That has a different reason. But to gain the most out of your Tai Chi, and you find you're really energized at the end of it, you really get the movement doing sloppy Tai Chi, getting the movement coming from the center. Another epitome of this is when you do slant flying or parting horse's mane. So what you're doing parting horse's mane is this. 1, 2. That's all you're doing. So it's the body. And therefore you're also learning about rebound, or taking the previous lot of energy into the next one. Now, in other words, in Taiji, you don't have a set number of postures. You only have one long posture in the whole form, because all the energy from the previous posture goes into the next posture. And you must make it go in by the... See that? So, if I just stayed there, my hand would just come back, because that's what Sung's all about, see? So I'm going to try and make my body do that. And it looks sloppy. You know, this is controlled. See, this looks nice, but it's not moving from the center. Now there are times, as I said yesterday, when we do that, But that's what's called